Today is June 1st, 2018, Friday. Welcome to the market update. Hope you guys had a good week. Trading this week. Today is the first day of trading in June. Today, there's quite a name that I want to talk about today. Spider, IWM, XLF, Qs, Diamond, XRT, XLE, XHB, IBB, Apple, Twitter, AMD, Intel, which I've been tweeting a lot about last 4 there, so I want to talk about those. So hopefully this video is not going to be too long since we have many names that I'm going to cover today. So let's get right into it. Let's kind of follow with what we've been talking about last week. Last Friday was what? Last Friday was 25th. So 25th was right here. Right there. So 25th. Yes, I remember what we talked about. We talked about how bull flag is probably not going to play out, or you know, there's going to be some shenanigan up and down. Obviously, you can see that there was a bull flag here. What happened was it gapped down and came down. I gave you fib level last week. I don't know if you guys remember. Let's actually remove that. So with this gap closing, we no longer have island reversal, which we've been talking about, but that's okay, because what happened was this bull flag, you know, didn't play out, which is no surprise. And I told you, burn those stupid cheat sheets that people tweeting around: bull flag, bearish wedge, bullish wedge, all that stupid thing. You know what I mean? Like, because if you're so fixated on that stupid pattern, do you think market is stupid? Do you really think that, like, if everybody's looking at it, if everybody's trading it, market is gonna be like, okay, let's everybody make money doing that? It's not gonna work if everybody's looking at it. If everybody's anticipating it, it's not gonna work. What's gonna happen is exactly what we saw today. I meant this week. What we saw this week, because everybody was anticipating a bull flagging pattern to play out. Well, the market is savvy like that, right? Insidiously savvy. So what the market is going to do is going to get lower, and that's exactly what we talked about last week, didn't we? We talked on the last market update that it's going to come down, take your stop, and then it goes up. So what's going to happen is it got lower. So people who are long here, well, they have to stop out. Maybe they chased it to short, and then it gapped up next day, and then a lot of people will close out their short and then start chasing this up. And then the next day it gapped down, came down, and then now they got scared again. Well, today it gapped up, going back up again. So really, in reality, this consolidation move is actually a bullish pattern, right? So if you actually kind of looked at it more of a broader term, not so much as a you know what I mean, so microscopic level, then you would understand that, well, there might be some shake and bake, but it is playing out like it should, right? I mean, if it would have, you know, then what the market would have done if it would have break out higher, it would have done something like this. Let's say it gapped up, and then it would have done something like this. Let's say if it did something like that, right? What could have done, would have happened is it would have gapped down next day, and then come and fill this gap with a bearish candle like this, because I've seen this happen all the time, right? And then they're all scared the hell out of it, and they, you know, that gap got filled, and then people start getting stopped up. People chase it up here, and the next day this thing starts to get up. See, that would have happened if you were gapped up. This time it gapped down, and we saw the down day. So now basically complete opposite is happening of this scenario that I told you about. This is a reason why, guys, you don't want to be so fixated on these patterns, and you don't want to micromanage your positions. And you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Last week, I told you guys how if you get stopped out constantly, not only is it exhausting, but it does a psychological damage. And then you know what's going to happen? As soon as you're like, you know what? I'm sick and tired of stock. I've been getting stopped out too many times. It's stupid stock. I'm going to you know what I mean? I'm not going to play this anymore. Guess what? As soon as you say I'm going to stop playing it, that thing goes parabolic. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about, because you know what? All of us have been a victim of that. I've been a victim of that before. This is the reason why I'm teaching you now about that. So last week I gave you the fib levels to watch should the price see some shenanigan, which it did on Tuesday. and it came down to where? The first level of fib, which is coinciding with all these moving averages there. So that was a, it could have come down a little lower. And I talked about the worst case scenario, the worst case possible scenario, maybe even coming down retest 200. That didn't happen, which is a good thing for longs. And we gapped up. You can see this gap is still, but let's actually mark that, because these gaps going to be important. The longer the gaps are open, the better it is for this stock. So you can see, or for index for that matter. Let's actually do that, and let's actually put a line through it, and then we're going to continue to kind of monitor this throughout our week, the market update videos here. So what's going to happen is, as long as this, because you can see these two gaps still open, these downside gaps are open. Now finally we have pretty sizable, we haven't seen this kind of sizable up gap. We haven't seen it since this thing kind of came down this much. So this is the first time we're seeing pretty sizable gap here. I think as long as we can keep this gap open, I do believe it's going to get up here and fill these two gaps, and then we're probably going to do something like that. We may or may not retest 272. Worst case scenario, even possibly come and fill the first side gap. I think the worst case scenario would be maybe even filling the 20 EMA next coming week. But we want to see this gap holding. If the buyers can protect this gap throughout next couple weeks, and we'll follow up, we'll talk about how it happens. If we can do that, then I believe S&P is ready. It is preparing. It is slowly restabilizing, right? Back up to the upside and resume with this primary term uptrend. Keep in mind, we were never in a downtrend in primary term. We were in a downtrend in a minor to intermediate term, but we were never in a downtrend in a primary term, right? So that's what I mean by resume, right? Because we were in an uptrend in a primary term. We pull back, which is a correction during this uptrend, right? This is a correctional phase before resuming back up to its primary term uptrend. So bears have lost a lot of its grounds already given up too much for the bulls, and the bulls are going to take advantage of these real estate that it has gathered. You can see the base that has formed. Not only that, throughout months here, you can see we have cultivated higher lows, and you can see that higher low is getting bigger and bigger, right? It started with the equal lows, low and low, that's equal, and then we got slightly higher low, right? Not that much, and then finally we got that much bigger higher low. If we can continue higher, then we can expect this uptrend to continue. So next level for buyers or bulls to fill the gap is these two gaps. So let's see how it plays out. The gaps usually act as resistance. Once we get there, probably going to act as resistance again. This gap must be protected. If we can protect this gap, we'll have some good months coming here. But again, volatility is probably still gonna be there. Do not micromanage, and do not let these daily fluctuations get to you emotionally, right? If you let the market get you angry, market got you. Market is controlling you. You want to be a strong trader. You're a disciplined trader. Don't ever let the market stir you up emotionally, right? Understand not only in a minor term perspective, but understand intermediate term and primary term and the broad sense of the market. When you listen to my market update videos, you start to understand how I look at it more. I mean, I can go in and give you these precise levels and Fibonacci, but at the same time, I also give you more of a general sense of what could possibly happen, what are some of the head fakes that's going to happen. That's what you got to start looking at, right? Everybody is out there but like, okay, above here is bullish, down here is bearish, above here we're going to go up. You know what? If I want to have many views, if I want to really have high views on my YouTube videos and grow my channel and create awareness, you know what I have to do every single video? Every single video, I just gotta give you these levels. Above here is bullish, but below here is bear. If I do that every single video, never make any calls, just always neutral. Every single video, I'm always neutral. Well, we don't know yet. Let's be nimble. If I do that, I'm sure I'll get much more views and much more subscribers in my YouTube channel. But that's not how you're gonna make money. People who doesn't know what they're doing will tell you that every single listen to these guys. Every single week, every single week. It doesn't matter when the stock is up here, down here. Same thing. Okay. Oh yeah, you wanna be nimble. Oh yeah, I'm really light. I'm gonna stay in cash. Oh yeah, I don't know. It's gonna pull back. Yeah, I don't know. Every day they're neutral. Every single day they're neutral. Every single day, never know what's gonna happen. Right? They never know how it's gonna play out. It always is above here, down here. Every single how easy is that? But the truth is, you ain't making any money doing that. Higher, above here, or below, down there. You know what I'm saying? Because market is too savvy. Market is too savvy. So yeah, looking good there. Let's go to Russell 2000. Russell 2000 obviously did see strong move, prior resistance, new support. We gapped up, and a little bit of consolidational phase there. Let's actually get rid of that for now. So obviously Russell 2000 is leading, which we've been advocating for a while now, that Russell 2000 is going to Russell 2000 is starting to look like 2013, 2014, 2015. Russell was the king. I remember because I was trading him, and Russell was leading, and for like 2 years or so. I think that could happen here. I mean, Q's is still strong, but Russell 2000 definitely looking very strong here. Made a new all-time. And a lot of times, when you see this kind of consolidation for months, and then that thing actually breaks out, that's a bullish signal. That doesn't mean it cannot go back in. If it does go back in and we retest 157 or the 50 MMN, that's a good level to buy. It does not mean that it cannot go back in. It could go back in, but it means that usually what it's going to do is it's been cultivating higher low. So if he does come back, probably it's going to cultivate another higher low before going higher. Another thing is that you see my support line right here, that bullish support line. Something that I've been teaching you guys is that what does the market loves to do? Well, so many gurus will say, oh yeah, look at the support level. Yeah, look at that. Once that thing breaks below, all hell's going to break loose. Well, that's not what's going to happen. What's going to happen is if he breaks below it, that's going to be a proverbial bottom, because the market knows everybody's looking at this support line. It needs to shake people out. So I'm not even surprised to see if Russell 2000 actually comes down, break below this support, shakes some more people out before going higher. Worst case scenario, even come down and make equal lows, and then give you something like this, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and scare the hell out of everybody before going higher. I mean, this is all possible scenario, which there's no way that the market can make a seasoned, well-trained, well-disciplined trader to what's the word? To flutter, or to, like anxious about something, or like fearful about certain patterns. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the market. Market is great for giving you that scare tactic. I mean, market is just so savvy at that. But people are so scared every day, and if you're scared of the market, then it's a difficult place to trade. Let's continue here. XLF. So XLF actually came much further than I've anticipated. As you can see here, we talked about that bull flag pattern. It gave you that head fake there, and then that thing just plunged, right? So everybody started running for the cover, started hitting that exit button, came back down to this low. Well, 200 SMA was in that vicinity. We gapped up. Actually, you can see this gap. I can even draw that in. Let's draw that in there and then make that into this here. That's actually good size of gap. We got another gap actually. Actually, you can put this back up here today. So we got two gaps in 2 days, 3 days in a row here. Pretty much, eradicated their loss here. We're back up here. That's a good sign. We still got a little bit tiny gap from this downside gap. So let's remove the... So we're still in this consolidational phase. You can see we're still consolidating. And XLF does look a little bit more bearish when you kind of look at this, because like other indices, we've already seen some higher lows in place. Well, XLF hasn't done that yet, right? XLF is banks are actually making these equal lows here. So for this to really confirm, maybe you want to see something like that, but before we do that, there could be some shenanigans here. But these gaps definitely encouraging the buyers here. If you can hold this gap, then there's a good chance we'll get up here and fill that gap to the downside gap, pull back, and something like that. Let's continue here. Retail, XRT. I wanted to bring this up because I think retail sector is doing really well here. This is a prior resistance currently acting as new support, but what's really good about it is a monthly chart, right? So when you look at monthly, you can actually see it. You can actually see, let's see, right there. So you can see the downtrend, right? Downtrend is now acting as potentially a new support, but what's more important is we're trying to cultivate that higher low, and that's the first thing you want to see, right? That's the first thing you want to see before it cultivates a new higher high and higher low there. So that's kind of what I like on that monthly chart XRT. But also if we just go to daily, almost similar pattern here. Kind of looks like an inverted head and shoulder as well. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, neckline here. Again, I won't be so fixated. Again, don't be so fixated on these neckline, because it could very well come there, kind of fake everybody out, and then do something like this. So keep that in mind. You always want to kind of, if you're trading it, you want to give it some more room. Like you want to let it wiggle around. If you want to place your stop too tight, it's going to take your stop, and you're just going to constantly get, stopped out and stopped out and stopped out. And it just gets very exhausting, man. This is the reason why I don't, let's go to a monthly here on XLE. I really like XLE. The reason being is because look at this. And I talked about this on XLE. I really think XLE is going to do great. I think XLE, XRT, XHB, and IBB, I think they're going to do well this year and next year. I think they're going to be leaders on these sectors. But look at that monthly chart. We're trying to get out of this box here. We already have cultivated higher lows here in an uptrend. Now, remember last time here, higher lows. Look at that. So I think, XLE is going to do well. Currently though, you know what I heard? Some people are saying like, oh, yeah, look at this look at this resistance. Oh yeah, last time it hit that thing tanked, and because of XLE is at this resistance, whole market is gonna crash. Like, what? Your whole analysis upon the market is because energy is gonna completely break down, and your whole basis of that is because we're at resistance. You see how people are thinking like that? People like don't understand because they don't understand the big picture. Because you know what? You don't understand the consolidation phase. Just move. You gotta get out. You gotta stop looking at things with the microscope. Just move out, zoom out, and look at this in the long term, man. Look at this. This is what you call cultivation. What is cultivation? We have establishment of an uptrend. What happened last time? Here, low, higher low here, uptrend there, or not like uptrend, but I mean not like uptrend support. I mean higher low, building an uptrend after this kind of correction, or you can even call it a crash, and then you can see you're building that base. That's a great signal here before another move higher, right? And again, I'm talking in a sense of statistical probability. Right? There's a statistical, you can call it a statistical certainty, but doesn't mean it's 100% guaranteed. You see what I'm saying? Like, I have a high certainty that XLE is going to go new all-time high and beyond, maybe next, I don't know, few years or something like that. I have a high degree of confidence in that, looking at this chart, but nothing is guaranteed at the same time. You got to understand that, right? That's all we got is a probability, but then again, nothing is guaranteed in this world. What is guaranteed in this world? Can you guarantee me that you're not gonna die tonight? Hopefully nobody dies tonight. Hopefully you guys are all healthy and live a long, prosperous life. But can you guarantee no? Can you guarantee that you're not gonna get sick tonight? Can you guarantee that you're not gonna get in a car accident tonight? No, nobody can guarantee anything because this is life. It's the same thing. You cannot guarantee anything, but statistical probability suggests in certainty, you're probably not going to get sick tonight. You're probably not going to die tonight. XLE, looking good here. I like this sector quite a bit. I actually been buying these dips here. I did close out about 1/4, not much. Just about 1/4 up there, exactly up there. And again, I can't do that every time, but it just pretty much went straight up here. Close about 1/3, holding still pretty good size here, and I think once this thing break out of it, and I think there's gonna be some more scare tactic though. It could be possibly go up here, do a little bit of double bottom or double top, and then people gonna be more scared, and then maybe even, you know, just to make things a little bit more dramatic, come down like this and break the neckline. That's really gonna make people just really panicky, right? Guess what do you think if that happens? Guess what do you think I'm gonna do? Well, I'll be buying this dip right here, and then we might see something like that. So I like it. I'm talking long term. I like it in a minor term, bullish, neutral, intermediate term, kind of a neutral area in the neutral to bullish. Primary term, obviously bullish. XHB, home builders. I really like, you know, home builder sectors, especially like stocks like, you know, like KBH, TOL, BZA. So those stocks also I own. Home builders, it's pretty similar pattern there. You can see first what I want to do is I want to do kind of do this, so kind of a longer term Fibonacci. You can see that came down to 50%. That is coinciding with the prior resistance here as potentially a new support, right? So this is a kind of a good level that it is holding. Actually, when we go to monthly here, you can see we are holding, you know, I can't even put a box here. You can see that we're trying to hold this prior resistance as new support, right? What I don't know is if we're gonna find support here and then get up. Sometimes what it likes to do is, because maybe everybody's watching this box, watching this consolidation level, what it likes to do is come down a little lower, kind of freak everybody out, and then get up. I don't know exactly how that's gonna play out, but if you look at things from a longer term perspective, I think this is a great level before getting back higher. And we may bounce from here, or we may bounce from the last level. Also, let me see. I'm just looking at my other screens here. Yeah, definitely weekly is completely tanked. Look at that XHB. This is completely tanked. And last time when XHB was completely tanked here and here. So that, I mean, would you buy here? Yes. Would you buy here? Yes. Would you buy here? Yes. Would you buy when stochastic at the bottom? Yes, yes, yes. Does that mean it's 100% guarantee? No. Statistical probability suggests that we may continue higher, but that doesn't mean that it cannot go a little lower before going higher. You see what I'm saying? So that's one thing that I've been talking about. You do not want to micromanage. You do not want to look at things like this. You do not want to look at things like this. Like that. Yeah, man. Yeah, bro. I'm gonna go long right there, yeah. And then my stop is gonna be right here, yeah. And next day it's gonna take your stop and goes right back up, and you're gonna try and you're gonna do like 3, 4, 5 times to get stopped out, and then finally, you know what, I'm sick and tired of it. That thing goes without you, and you're just depressed because, well, you're stupid enough to put that tight stop, man. That's why you couldn't profit from it. Let's go to IBB. I also like IBB this year and next year, right? I like retail, energy, home builders, and biotech. Those are some of the sectors there. You can see right there we're clearing clearing. This is great news for buyers. You can see that double bottom, prior resistance, potentially as new support. I think there's a good chance we'll get up here, and this is one of my favorite swing trader setup. The reason I know this is because I was a swing trader. This is one of the most famous and most well-known, most prominent swing trading setup. They'll go long here and they'll play stop either, right? That's what you guys do, right? If you're a swing trader, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. I was a swing trader, so I know this. There's a double bottom, that's great. And then you go long right about here, and then you play, you know, you can put tight stop there or here. I'm not saying, this is not what I'm doing. I'm just giving you a scenario here that this is, and then your target is about 114. Am I not correct on this? Yes, this is a favorite setup. And I think the market sometimes, and if it works out sometimes, it doesn't work out sometimes. And I don't like that. I don't like the fact that it works out sometimes, it doesn't want to work out sometimes. You can go and check my website and see my win ratio. My win ratio is last couple of years is above 70%. Like last 5 years, my win ratio is above 50%. I think 4 years ago I did 59% and then 65% last year. It was like 80 some percent last year. So far this year, my win ratio is 85% win ratio. Because my win ratio got much better, obviously, because I hold things much longer. And I give much leniency before I close them out. That's one thing I hate about swing trades. If it works out great. But sometimes what it does is it comes down, take out your stop, makes new low. See, what it does is, you know, it will do something like, it looks like it's going to go, and then it just falls back, right? And then takes out your stop, and then it goes up, and then you try to gap back in. It does some other shenanigan before that thing actually moves. I mean, how many times you done that? So that's kind of what I'm saying. Is that's why I love position trading versus swing trading. But you know, it looks like this is a good breakout here, or you know, it looks like a good breakout of this neckline. But man, I won't be surprised this thing coming right back in. Kind of scared some people up before getting back up. This is the reason why you want to look at things not in a microscopic way, but a much bigger overall sense, so you can kind of gauge it. You can see even looking at this here, you know, almost looks similar to you know, almost similar to XHB, prior resistance, new support. So that's a good sign. We got a good cultivation going on there. I mean, look at if I look at this here, we got 50% Fibonacci. We held that. We made a higher high, and then we're coming down potentially a higher low. We're trying to get back up here. So looks like it's a good consolidation it's been in since this thing plunged. That correction here. So market. So looks like, you know, we can kind of hold that. And then if he comes down, you know, even if he comes down lower, see what would be the best way if this thing pulls back, instead of looking at these levels, what I will do, let's say it starts to pull back on Monday, what I will do, instead of using the horizontal support levels, I will look at this as a 50% and the last level as a good support. So let's say this thing comes down, because what it's going to do is it's going to go, you see a lot of people draw a trend line like this and draw a neckline like that. And the market knows that. Market knows exactly what you're doing. And then so what it's going to do is going to come down, take all of your stops, and then it's going to get back up. So that's kind of what I will do. I'll be more, like if you want to be a swing trader, but you want to like give some more leniency, I will give some more leniency. Obviously, you know, if you're giving that much leniency and your stop is up here, well, your gain and your stop is, you know, it's about 50-50. So, I mean, if I was actually position trading this, my target would be not here or not here. It will be up here, about 130. Let's say if I were to go long here, my target would be 130, but I'll be risking, you know, maybe somewhere up down here, like somewhere here. Let's continue. It's already getting, the video is already getting long, so I'll keep this short here. Apple, you know, I tweeted out that if this thing does come down somewhere, you know, here is a good time to entry. I still don't have any positions on Apple, but looks like potentially a bull pennant. I don't know. It could still head fake, still shenanigan. So I'm continue to watch, but I think that, you know, first level support is 183. If we lose that, comes down to about 178.98. You know, 178, 177. I think that's a good level for entry. You know what I'm gonna do? Put my buy zone. How's that? I'm gonna put that right there. 178, 177. That's my buy zone. If it gets there, I'll probably buy it. Twitter. I've been very pleased with the Twitter. Right? You guys know, if you follow my blog and follow me on Twitter, you guys know that I've been long since, actually, exactly speaking, since 1960s or something like that. But what's really nice about Twitter's current action is we're trying to break out of here. Right? See that we're trying to, again, that doesn't mean it's gonna break and continue higher. There could be some shenanigan, but definitely the gap got filled, which then became acting as a support. We continue here, a lot of up and downs. You can see that right here. This was important support. We're holding it. I think currently you're just right at that level, the prior resistance. So yeah, I'm holding full positions that I enter here, and then some. I've been adding a little bit on these 30s here, holding full position there. I'll be holding quite a bit, and we'll continue to see that. AMD, So I've been talking about quite a bit with the AMD because I actually do have position on AMD. This is what these levels. You can see I bought some there, and then I bought more there, held through. I'm holding full there, and finally we closed out this gap, which is a good sign because this gap has been open too long, right? This is when it first opened, and then when buyers got up here, they forgot to fill that gap, so partially open that. That's always a problem when that happens. Bears took advantage of it and brought it down. Guess what happened when he brought it down? Well, market knows exactly where your patience breaking point is, right? People will chase it up here. What's going to happen is, well, this thing here. Let me actually make them more dramatic. Let's put that box right there. And then what's going to happen is it came down. Finally, they can't handle this anymore. And finally, this thing gaps down. The majority of people close out their positions, and then that became a proverbial bottom. Well, what happened? We saw another gap up. But most people, what happened? Most people, well, they're scared. Because last time we saw this gap right there, well, it didn't get sustained. We actually tanked. So when we saw another gap, well, most people didn't. They got scared because what happened last time. Well, I didn't get scared. I actually bought more, and then that actually worked out so far. And let me actually remove that. What is that there? So move that also. So right now you can see it's actually technically we can say that that's a higher high. That's high, higher high. However, we just filled this gap, so I won't be surprised this thing pulling back. But AMD is a hyped up stock. It kind of acts similar to like Tesla when Tesla was hyped. So I won't be surprised we see another gap up and continue higher because something like AMD is a very hyped up stock, right? It's a cheap stock. I'm talking, when I say cheap, I mean like the lower dollar amount, right? And it's a pretty hyped up stock, and it was pretty hyped when this thing came in from like, it was like what, $1, and then it did this. So it's very hyped. A lot of people are watching. A lot of penny stock traders are probably even watching this, and we're at 14 now. So I mean, there's a chance that it could continue higher, but there's also a chance it could fall right back in. But if we do fall right back in, we want to see 1175. Some of these levels to hold, because we don't have a higher low yet. We just went straight up. We don't have a higher low. That's not categorized as a legit higher low. We want to see legit higher low and then do something like that. I think that would be ideal. I think Intel did that. Let's actually go back and check how Intel did that. You guys remember right here. So you guys remember I've been buying. I actually been buying quite a bit here. Buying this and this. I've been buying calls and shares. Obviously, all my calls are gone, but my shares I'm holding full. And I've been adding too. Like, I forgot some of these levels. I forgot exactly where, but this was actually obviously much stronger, heavy positions that I was holding. But what happened was here. This is what happened. So you can see this is almost exactly similar. I'll end the video with this. It's almost similar right there. So you can see what happened was, you can see that was a low right there. Okay, that was a low. You see that. And then if I threw a box, it gapped down. It's almost similar to how it did with, you know what, now I look at it, this is almost identical now. Interesting. Actually, let's go back. Interesting here. Okay. Huh, it's almost identical. So it will be interesting to see. So let's see how it plays out. Look at it. So like here. So yeah, so what happened was, you know, that a lot of people are watching that support, right? And this thing it gapped down. A lot of people closed out their positions, got stopped out, and then there may be some little bit devout longs that held, and they told themselves, well, I'm gonna hold it because that's the next major support. And then, well, market gapped down on this day, and then finally they cracked. These guys who, you know, it's supposedly more noble with their longs, right? They said, well, I can't take this anymore because that is a support. That thing gapped down. They finally closed out. So there are two traps that were there. Obviously, I held through. It was all documented in my Intel set to Soar articles. And it's up to part 7 now, and I've been tweeting it out. I even tweeted out on this day when this thing broke down and gave you my analysis of why I think it's gonna become a reversal or a proverbial bottom. Anyway, so, and then what it did was it just pretty much went straight up, right? The market is always do this. The market takes your stop, it goes right back up. And I was holding everything through that, and look at this, look at that support right there, right? And at this point, we still didn't have any kind of higher low, any legit higher low, right? Because you can see we've been doing low, lower high and lower high, right? And then somewhere here, right? Somewhere here, it pulled back, right? And then this cultivation right here, that's very, very important, right? This cultivation is important. For the first time since this shenanigan, up and down, sideways, we cultivated higher high. Technically, this is a slightly higher high, but let's call it equal high. So equal high does not mean, what is the definition of downtrend? Lower highs and lower lows. So if we look at these peaks, they're equal. So that's the first sign. And then when you pull back, instead of coming all the way down to the bottom level, it stopped short, cultivated higher low. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, was very, very important level. And then rest is history, you see. You see that? See, it's easy to see it now after the move has been made. But me, as I was trading this, and these were my entries right here, not only I was holding shares here, I was holding calls, guys, leaps. I wish I closed out all those leaps up, up here and up there, and I'm holding full shares though, and they're pretty heavy. And but I kind of imagined this in my head that something like this was gonna happen. And so this is a reason why when market shake and bake, just with your stupid trend lines, it's not gonna save you. Like, people always say stupid things like that. Like, oh, if we lose, I heard this. If we lose this, well, all hell's gonna break loose. Did all hell broke loose, or was it the shining moment of like that moment of where that was a proverbial bottom? Which was it? You see what I'm saying? Just because you draw a stupid trend line, do you really think you can come into this market and you're gonna profit? Just because you know what I mean? This is what I'm saying. It's much more than just stupid trend lines. It's much more. You have to have a vast amount of understanding of how the market moves, not only in structural way, but psychological, how the market operates. Market is designed to fool, and I've said this over and over again. Market is designed to fool, right? Most amount of people before it rallies. And that's exactly what Intel did. You can see it here. Most people was not tell me who. Is there anyone that you know that you follow participated all this? Except me. So you know I did. Where? Do you know anyone who went long on Twitter at 19s and still holding full? Anyone? Right? And I'm not trying to brag or anything like that. I'm trying to make a point here. I'm not saying that I know everything. I don't presume to know everything. But what I'm saying, I'm trying to teach my genuine followers that it's going to be more than just stupid flagging patterns, a wedge pattern, or just understanding the support level. A lot of times the support levels that you watch, it's actually going to become liability. It could actually petrify you and paralyze you. You know what I mean? Like, when this happened, like I was right here, right? So I went long right there. When that happened, right? And it stayed there for a little bit, and it was like this for a little bit. You can see right there, right? At this point, as a seasoned trader, if you are a seasoned trader and trained, well, disciplined trader, the biggest question is, what do I do? What is going to happen? Am I going to close it out? Or are we going to hold through it? Is this going to be a proverbial bottom? Is it going to be a head fake? And for you to understand that, is you gotta go to look at a big picture. You gotta look at your weekly and monthly, analyze a big picture, right? So now we looked at Intel, right? So Intel, obviously we just analyzed this price action right here, right? So this price action right there, and we pull back before doing that and finally breaking out of this consolidation phase, right? So looking at AMD, right? We got this consolidation phase. Trap was made. We went straight up, almost like how Intel did it. And we're cultivating kind of an equal highs. Equal highs with this right here. That is a very, very good cultivation. We have not seen equal highs, right? That's a very, very good cultivation. Ever since this thing started doing that with the lower highs, right? We got the equal high, and technically that's even a higher high looking at this. Now, again, it could very well gap up and continue higher because AMD is a very hyped up stock. But if should the price fall back, we want to see that higher low. And that might be, ladies and gentlemen, that move for this thing getting to 30s. 30s. And that's where my target is right now. 30s. It's gonna take weeks, maybe months, but we'll see how that plays out. Well, 40 minutes. Usually I don't try to go this long, but I had some energy to do it today, so hopefully that was information that you can able to apply in your own trading skills and logic. And hope you enjoy rest of this weekend, and good luck trading next week.